Corner, brought to you by Hooked at Curries, Big Rapids Pennzoil and Auto Repair, Seth Winger at the Winger Insurance Agency, Gilbert's Carpets Plus Color Tile, Barrington Firearms and Training Center, DW2 Drywall, Michigan ADOS, the Monk Janowitz Funeral Home in Big Rapids and the Janowitz Family Funeral Home in Remus, and Paris Auto Sales.
All right, good morning, Bob. How are you?
I am here.
All right, we're here.
We're here.
Well, I wear hearing aids, so, I had to turn up the box. I took them out. I thought I could hear better without them, but maybe I'm wrong. Real quick, Friday, 1 o'clock, harness racing at Mecosta County Fair. I don't want to forget that. Aaron Colley, Matt Curry, John Curry, Steve Kramer, all those guys are going to be there putting on a great show. There's 18 races starting at 1 o'clock. Come join us. It's free. There'll be a food truck there. So 1 o'clock, Mecosta County Fair, putting on some great colt stake racing, some of the finest horses in the state. It's a long story short how we got it. But good morning again, Bob. How are you?
Okay.
We don't condone hitting on the table. I just sit on the table.
It sounds like
I never do that. I know.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I have some great guests here. It's kind of like a two-part story here this morning. We have Katie McGinnis here with me and Helen Brandt with the community vocal lyric.
Yeah, Vocal Lyrica.
Yeah. And then Avery Chaput from Big Rapids Products, long-standing, outstanding citizens. She's going to be. She already has been. Went to St. Mary's School. We're going to talk about that with her a little bit here coming up. And the high school. And then you went out to Montana to school.
Bozeman.
So we got a lot to talk about to Stacy here. But first, these girls got to get going. We're going to give them 20 minutes of mic time. Good morning, Katie.
Awesome. Good morning, Pat. We're so happy to be here on Curries Corner.
There you go.
Yeah. We are just really hoping to get the word out about all of the wonderful music opportunities that there are. The harness racing sounds super fun, too, so we'll make sure to work that into the schedule as well.
There you go.
But, yeah, we just are so lucky to be here in Big Rapids, where there are just so many opportunities for people to come together in this beautiful community. So we want people to know that if they are interested in being involved in music, it's such a welcoming place to be a musician. So yeah, I'll start kind of from my schedule, the beginning of the week. We have Vocal Lyrica on Sundays, which is for women, and we have women basically high school age up through, I think our Jarena Keys just retired with us, and she is well into her 80s. So,
wow.
Yeah, and we've got... So that's Sunday nights. And then Monday, we have Troublemakers, which is a youth choir. And Tuesday, I teach the Ferris Choir, and all are welcome in that ensemble as well. That's SATB, so the guys and the girls can come and sing that one, whether you're in Ferris or not. So there's a lot of opportunities out there. So.
Well, I think I've always loved going to church and listening to young voices.
Right.
And I'm really pleased to hear that you have
the youth choir.
Yeah. How young can you start?
That is for 3rd through 8th graders, and we meet on Monday nights at the United Church from 5 to 6:30 every Monday night, and it starts next Monday. So.
Okay. How besides this here, how are you getting the word out? It's pretty hard sometimes, but are you on Facebook? Is there a Vocal Lyrica on Facebook?
There is actually, and so the Troublemakers, the youth choir, is sponsored by Vocal Lyrica. We are a 501c3 that Jenny Kerwin started 25 years ago. So this year with Jenny. Vocal Lyrica, we're having our big 25-year anniversary and doing just all kinds of wonderful music. This is actually music that Jenny has chosen and that the people singing with us have chosen. We still have some charter members who have been in the ensemble for 25 years. And so this is my 2nd year conducting Vocal Lyrica, and it is so luxurious to be able to work with people who get to stay and sing for that long. So usually I retired after 25 years of teaching in the public schools, and of course, those kids keep graduating on us, and that is a wonderful thing. But to be able to have singers who sing for 25 years, you can really get to the point where they just just about read your mind. So it is a wonderful ensemble.
So good for the soul. Kids, how many kids do you have in the youth program?
Yeah, usually we have around 20 to 25 kids.
Well, that's pretty, you got to be happy with that.
It is. We are. And, you know, Helen and I were talking yesterday about how eager these kids are to do solos and to just be brave and to sing harmonies and to take on any challenge. They're like, you know, when we're like, oh, who would like to try this or that? And every hand goes up. And they're just so motivated and fun to work with every single day.
Odd question, but you know, everybody has a voice, don't they?
They do.
But it is funny that some kids are embarrassed to sing. I wonder why. I know you don't probably have the answer to that, but I'm one of them. When I was younger, I was always too shy to sing, and I wished I wouldn't have been. I could speak in front of a crowd, but I couldn't sing in front of a crowd. And now, as of late, as my years dwindle down, I'm not afraid to sing, and I really enjoy it. But I don't know what we can do to enhance that. Children to come out with those beautiful voices like my grandchildren. They have some beautiful little voices coming up here, and as other ones do too, but some are just shy, like little Jack. You know, you'll never see my grandson Jack sing. Owen, you might, and they're full brothers. But there's nothing like a good voice, is there?
It's so true.
Does anybody have a bad voice, you think?
Well, you know, singing is something that's learned just like algebra. Trigonometry, physics made me cry. But there are, you know, people that gravitate towards certain things, right? Things come easier in different ways to different people, and that's a wonderful thing. You know, we all have our special attributes, but singing can absolutely be learned. There are so many people with the incorrect concept that either you're a singer or you're not. But really, you know, everyone is a singer, and in any way, and you know, so, and that's what really I love to do is I love teaching people to sing. So there really aren't many things that I'm good at in the world, but luckily I found the one thing that makes me happy and I really enjoy. So anybody who's interested, I'm happy to teach.
Sitting here looking at you, watching you, you gleam when you talk, you smile when you talk. You are happy, aren't you?
I am.
With everything that's going on in the world today. So this singing is a way out, isn't it, for a lot of people?
Sure is.
People should sing more instead of, you know what, more. But
it's true.
Now, so people can be taught to sing, so I guess that's why you have singing teachers, right?
Absolutely.
And you have to give singing lessons. I know on Andy Mayberry, Andy Griffith's show, Barney, did you watch an episode when he went to the missus to teach him how to sing? And they finally gave up on Barney, though. They couldn't quite hold the note.
It just wasn't for him, huh?
Well, how do you, real quickly, like 60 seconds, tell me, how do you teach somebody to sing? What do you say to them? Do you just give them confidence and say you're sounding good, which they're not?
Right. Well, that is a great question. Actually, it is mostly about breath and space and the freedom to kind of get the tongue out of the way. So a lot of people sing with a lot of tension and put a lot of pressure on their larynx. But if you just make sure that you've got a whole lot of cushion of air coming from the diaphragm, the belly, there's, you know, a lot of there's a lot that we can talk about privately in a voice lesson to learn. There's so many techniques to learn to be a great singer. And singing really too, it's so good for building community. It's so good for the brain and brain health. It is something that it uses almost every part of the brain, between the language and the motor skills that it takes to actually create the sound, between all of the different emotions that people experience while they're singing. And then especially too when you're singing in a group, that physical connection of being close to other humans and making that sound and sharing that experience. You said earlier too that there are so many people who are really shy about singing. Singing is a very personal thing. It's something that people are kind of intrinsically ultra aware of, that they're going to be judged. And we live in a society that sometimes is not very kind. Singing and music can also be a very competitive thing. But the nice thing about being in Big Rapids, and when I first moved here years and years ago, I interviewed in many different places, and there was no place that felt as warm and welcoming and just accepting of all musicians and humans that Big Rapids did. And just as soon as I drove into town and as soon as I entered the interview room, I just knew that I was at home, because I was in a place that really people were being fostered in such a kind way. And that
Jeannie
came
Kerwin.
from, Jeannie Kerwin, Barb Borth, remember?
Yeah. Oh, real well.
And Jeanette Fleury and Russ Greenleaf were all on my board that 30 years ago brought me and welcomed me into Big Rapids. So,
Wow.
Yeah.
So what's coming up?
Oh my goodness, we have so much coming up. So like I said, Vocal Lyrica, this is our 25th year. So we rehearse on Sunday nights from 6 to 8:30 at the United Church. So if there are people who feel like, oh, I would really, really love to sing, they can contact me at any time and we can talk about that. We will have our 25th anniversary holiday concert on Saturday, December 6th at the high school. So we're very excited about that. And we always team for that concert with a brass quintet with like Kent Bolton and Brian Balch and Elby Todd and Penny Cushway and the band, friends from Big Rapids High School. And so
You have the
very fun.
youth choir there too that night?
Yeah, actually, the
Everybody.
youth choir is separate this year, so they will have their concert at the United Church on December 1st.
Oh, okay.
So we'll make sure we get all of that info out there. And then Ferris Choir, we have a concert November 19th, and then we are very excited. Oh, and then there's just so much going on. December 7th, we always with the Ferris Choir team with the orchestra and with the band and Santa.
Wow, yeah.
Santa and of course the clowns as well. So Scott Cohen started that tradition years and years ago.
Great guy.
And we will, even though Scott is retired,
Right.
so we're very excited for him. But we will carry on that tradition, of course. So.
He'll stay involved though.
Oh,
probably.
yes. Yeah,
So
yeah.
right now, if you wanted to join the club, it's on Sunday nights, 6:30 to 8.
Yeah, for Vocal Lyrica.
Everybody's invited. And then the children, I say children, their ages are what, from third grade
through
to
8th grade.
Third through eighth
Yeah,
grade.
That's
Yeah.
Monday nights.
Monday nights, huh?
Yeah. So basically, too, if anybody's interested in anything like this, the best way really would be to go to the Vocal Lyrica website. We've got such a gorgeous website. We've got all the programs and concerts and information and tickets and everything. So that would be a good way, and you can contact me about any of those things. And then, of course, we've got all of the other music at Ferris. It's a Music for Life program, so it's open to everyone in the community as well. So band, orchestra, jazz band, so
Programs?
many great things.
How many programs a year you put on?
The choir does about four per year. And then, orchestra, jazz band, all that kind of stuff. They have all of it going on as well. So yeah, but I don't want to hog all the time.
No,
we only have
no.
a little bit left. But
I know. Helen?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good morning.
well, I would first of all echo what Katie and what all of you know about the Big Rapids community. So I'm a newbie. I came here about 3 years ago, and you talk about being afraid to sing, but you could talk. I was so shy I couldn't talk in front of people, but singing was inside me. I could sing in front of people.
All your whole life?
My whole life. And so in order to establish community at moving into a new place at 75 years old,
Yeah.
I didn't have children that were going to go to school. I wasn't going to meet parents. So I looked to churches and I looked to singing to establish community. And I had searched the internet and found Vocal Lyrica and came to Vocal Lyrica and started singing with them. And I just was enveloped in this group of women who were so open and so there for each other and singing at such a high level. And so I sang with them for a while, and in Massachusetts, where I had come from, I had started a hospice choir, which is a concept that I want to talk a little bit about because it's not so common, but I saw this community of people who sang so well and cared so much and took care of each other, and I thought, this is a community that would just jump into this concept of hospice choirs. So,
Well, I'll tell you what, not to cut you off, I want you to stay with us, but Katie, I know has got to get
Katie
going.
has to go.
I want to thank Katie first of all. Helen, you stay with us. I'm going to have Avery on, and I think you can add to our conversation in the next part of our show.
Okay.
With your little history. But Katie, thank you very much for coming on. Big Rapids really loves you and appreciates you and is very grateful for what you do for our community, because I just love singing. Hallelujah. That's it.
That
all right,
was
Bob,
cool.
let's take a break and thank our sponsors.
All right, we'll be right back. More of Curry's Corner on B1039. When the time comes to say goodbye, you need a funeral home that understands your family's needs. The Monk Janowitz Funeral Home in Big Rapids and the Janowitz Family Funeral Home in Remus have been a trusted part of this community for generations. They do take care of every family like their own, and they hear it time and time again.
My name is Christina Beers. I would say there's lots of funeral homes in the area, but there's only a small few that can do it with class and with quality and with that personal touch and care. And I would put Janowitz Family Funeral Home at the very top of that list.
Let them help guide you through a challenging time with care, respect, and compassion. The Monk Janowitz Funeral Home in Big Rapids and the Janowitz Family Funeral Home in Remus. Local, professional, and here for you when it matters most.
Ada's Calibration and Glass is still open for business and running at full capacity. Same location, different building. Sometimes crossing paths with a flying stone is inevitable. But whether you have a small chip that needs quick attention or a windshield that's beyond saving, Michigan Ada's Calibration and Glass is there to help. If your vehicle has been in an accident and you're working with insurance, they'll handle the entire process from start to finish. From windshields to back glass and even power windows, they'll see you through it. Pun intended. Save time and skip the dealership with Michigan Ada's Calibration and Glass. Same location as JR Customs and Collision, just north of 19 Mile in Big Rapids. Ada's Calibration and Glass is still open for business and running at full capacity. Same location, different building.
Where do you go for Michigan's #1 concealed pistol license course? The same place thousands of Michigan residents have over the past 15 years, the Barrington Firearms Training Center. The BFTC conducts state-certified CPL courses right here locally inside the Barrington Conservation Club at 3444 18 Mile Road in Barrington. For just $99, all you need to bring us is your Michigan ID to these all-inclusive one-day CPL courses, which include the use of firearms, ammo, eye and ear protection, coffee and donuts in the morning, and lunch at noon. That's right, just $99 gets you everything needed to take the police department instructed course that includes the training necessary to safely load, unload, handle, and store your firearm. Students will also be trained on when it is legal to defend themselves with a firearm under Michigan's Stand Your Ground law and Castle Doctrine. Call 231-250-7257 or go online at michigancpltraining.com to register for one of their upcoming $99 all-inclusive CPL courses. Get armed, get trained at the Barrington Firearms Training Center.
Gilbert's Carpex Plus, color time. Stop and shop with us for a while.
Looking to refresh your home? Gilbert's Carpets Plus Color Tile on Northland Drive in Big Rapids, just south of the campus, has everything you need. They're experts in flooring and window treatments, but did you know they also specialize in beautiful countertops? Whether you're remodeling your kitchen or bathroom, their great selection of colors and styles will help you create the perfect look. Visit Gilbert's Carpets Plus Color Tile, your one-stop shop for floors, window treatments, and countertops. Stop in today and make your house a home.
Gilbert's Carpex Plus, color time. Stop and shop with us for a while. Gilbert's is there for you.
Pennzoil in Big Rapids is your quick-stop shop for oil changes and so much more. With certified techs and 35 years experience, they'll have you in and out in a flash, and a free car wash with every service. And don't forget about tires. As quickly as the seasons change in Michigan, it's easy to lose your grip. Luckily, Pennzoil in Big Rapids has the tires you need to dominate all seasons in Michigan. Big tires, fast tires, grippy tires, sleek tires. Go see Zach Wells at Big Rapids Pennzoil today. He'll get you back on the road and ready to roll. That's Big Rapids Pennzoil, located at 710 North State Street, or give them a call at 231-796-4730.
I'm Seth Wenger from Wenger Insurance. For more than 100 years, we've been providing professional service and competitive insurance to West Michigan. Come visit us on Perry Street in Big Rapids or give us a call at 796-0778. We're here for you now, and we'll be here when you need us most. 796-0778.
Hooked at Curry's.
Pete, why do you come to Curry's?
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I go to Curry's to get the cheeseburger with caramelized onions and mayonnaise and ketchup. And you're not going to ask, where's the beef? It's going to be in the bun.
After decades of satisfied customers, Paris Auto Sales is still your trusted used car center of Big Rapids. So if you've been driving the same vehicle for what seems like decades, come on down to Paris Auto Sales and get yourself a new ride today. Now with 2 locations to better serve you. Trucks, cars, SUVs, big or small, and everything in between. That's Paris Auto Sales. Their team has the experience to get you financed and get you into the vehicle you've been waiting for.
Dale I've known for many, many years, and I tell you what, when somebody needs some help, he's there. Just like your typical Mecosta County resident, Dale Whaley is a good American. So if you're ever looking for a drywaller for free estimate, call Dale. I'm telling you, you're going to be happy with his work. I have recommended Dale to a lot of people, and you know what the greatest compliment I've ever gotten is thanks for sending Dale. He did a great job for me. Guy's just fantastic. Just not only is a drywaller with DW2 drywalling, but it's just a great person. It doesn't hurt to have him come into Curry's either. There's just so many good things about Dale. He's just a great American, and give him a call, DW2 Drywall at 231-679-0475. That's right, 231-679-0475. Dale Whaley is DW2 Drywall. Greatest guy on drywalling end of it. Wow.
Pat is
Man, I love
by the
Dale
number of
Wiley,
sponsors we
don't
have on our
I?
show.
Every time I think of him, though, I think of Andy Griffith's show. You know,
There
there's
you
a moral
go.
in every one of those stories. You
So
gotta
make
watch
sure,
it.
by the way, we want to say go in and tell all of those sponsors you heard it on Curry's
That's
Corner.
right.
Okay?
That's
Because
right.
That's how,
Yeah, you tell
that's
'em.
how this whole wheel works.
You know, and Paris Auto is our newest one there. And
Yep.
Saturday, I was out to high school. I walked out there because there was no parking. But anyway, Boyd was out there, and he had a couple of his grandsons or his stepchildren playing.
Right.
Anyway, Boyd's one great guy. He's been a staple to Paris Auto for many, many years, and I always introduce him to whoever new to him as the basketball player back in '81, the state championship. The Reed City Coyotes basketball program won that year.
Right.
And he always has to correct me. No, that was my 2 brothers were on that team. I was on the '87 team, which I don't think won a lot, but he was a good ball player. He's a good football player, but more importantly, he's a great guy. And I just want to share a little story with you on democracy and free speech. Boyd came over to my brother Joe, which is recently doing pretty good, actually, after his heart surgery. And I'm going to stop for a minute and wish Brian Rose. I heard he had open heart surgery, too. I wish you very well, Brian. I've been praying for you. But anyway, Boyd and I were talking about what's going on in the world today. And he brought up Charlie Kirk. And we'll talk with Avery a little bit about that, what the young eyes are seeing through that. But anyway, he was expanding on the conversation. Pretty good dialogue going there. And I was saying what I had to say, and this lady behind us, man, she spoke up and she goes, I've had enough. I've had enough. She was pretty bad, pretty nasty to us. And Boyd wanted to say something out of respect. He didn't, because I was sitting there, and he knows how I try to be nice to people, even if you differ with me, and that's okay, but nobody ever wishes ill on anyone, and Boyd doesn't either. But he wanted to speak up. But this lady was really rude, and that's what's going on in this world today. What happened to free speech? He was just talking what he thought about what happened, and He walked away from it, thank the good Lord. But I just looked at her and I said, well, I'm sorry if we offended you. That's what people do. She never apologized to us, though. You know, she's bitter about the whole thing. You know, I mean, on the other side there, and some of the posts. I just want to say real quickly, people, read what you put on Facebook. Read it before you post it. I've had some very dear friends that I've respected and loved throughout high school stating that it was the best thing that ever could happen. Good Lord, do you realize what you're saying? The devil's got your tongue. I would never wish anybody to die, although we are going to die. There's a time and place for all of us. And the good Lord said, Charlie, you're coming home that day. That's the way I looked at that. I feel sorry for America for what we've lost. I think we lost more than Charlie Kirk. I think we lost a little bit of all of us. Even the ones that are bitter, saying that it was a good thing, they just lost. They lost to the devil by saying something like that. I mean, how can you have so much evil in your mind? I mean, I've been cursed. My wife's been ridiculed. She's been put down when she was on the township board there, and we stood it because we're bigger than that. And I just don't understand it. Good Mecosta County residents, good Americans that I thought would never say such words have spoken. And I think, you know, you can blame Trump for everything you want. Is he perfect? No, we know he's not perfect. Is he doing what he thinks right for our country? Yes, he is. Is he making mistakes? Yes, he is. But it's out there for us all to see, and then we can vote in and out whoever we want. And that's democracy. But I really pray to God that we heal. I don't know if we can, Bob. I really don't. Avery, we're going to talk to you a little bit about it this morning. I got Avery Chapin on. I was telling Helen there just a few minutes ago how proud I'm proud of this little girl that I am sitting here next to. She comes from a good line of blood. She comes from the Kylene blood. She comes from the Too Good blood. She comes from the Chapin blood. She comes from the Smith blood. And I had this not written down, but who am I forgetting? Too Goods, Kylene's, who else? Chapin, Smith. Federleys. Yep. Who else?
Cianciolos.
Yeah. I mean, you've got some good blood there. But anyway, her great-grandfather started Big Rapids Products, and then her grandfather took it on to greater heights, and now her father has even gone bigger heights. They employ, she's going to tell us in a little bit, but I'm just going to throw 600 employees out. They do a lot for their employees. You know, you talk about companies that take advantage of their employees. They do just the opposite. I mean, they work their employees like we all do, but they get compensated for it. They have a nice little restroom over there. They got a nice little restaurant over there. They got a working outfit over there. She can expand on whatever she wants to. But anyway, you always talk about generational. Well, John was the third generation, and that one, only about 7% succeed. So John Chapin succeeded that third generation. He's on that 7%. Now, very few people have a fourth generation coming into the business, and Avery is that fourth generation. I want her to talk about her bringing up. Why do you feel that you've had the opportunity? Why God has put you in this place of Big Rapids? She's come home to. She's been in Montana for 4 years.
3.5.
3.5 years.
Let me just interject for 1 second to say this is WBZX Big Rapids.
Oh, thank you, Bob. But anyway, we're glad to have her on this morning. The reason I asked her to come on was not so much about her company over there on the east side of Big Rapids, the Big Rapids Components, but to listen to somebody with the eyes of a young lady that has seen so much in her life already, where I can remember back when I was young, the biggest crisis we had, and nobody really talked to us, they just told us about it, was the Cuban crisis. Helen remembers that. Russia there and Cuba, and with the bomb and the JFK, and then the JFK assassination. And we've seen the Martin Luther King assassination, a great man those two were. And now we see Charlie Kirk. Avery has been probably not, I wouldn't say the easiest generation, but but a generation of, you might say, hopefully better than our generation. But you haven't seen the Vietnam days. You don't remember those Vietnam days and what those guys sacrificed for us. I was almost going to go to Vietnam, and back then everybody was ready to go. There was a few guys that didn't want to go, but most of us said, yeah, if this is a patriotic thing to do, we're going to go. And unfortunately, we're seeing the sad things that came from Vietnam, because these guys that sacrificed their lives, and even though they lived on, they have sacrificed their life because of the mental and the physical challenges they've had to go through within their lives. But here I am getting kind of down, Bob. We need an upper. Avery, good morning. I've talked enough.
Good morning, Pat. Thanks for having me.
Well, God bless you. We were supposed to have Blake Donnelly with us, but Blake unfortunately became ill. How does anybody catch a cold, in this time of year?
I wish I could tell you.
Yeah, Bob, he's got a terrible cold. He can hardly talk.
Oh, boy.
Said. But I'm gonna.
And for somebody who tells jokes for a living, it's like, yeah, that's kind of tough. So
yeah, I just thought with the two of them that would be a very interesting story this morning. But it still will be with Avery here. Avery, let's talk about yourself a little bit. I remember your mother. She worked for me years ago. I don't know if you remember that or not. And I told her she was going to marry a Prince Charming someday and live happily ever after. I guess you might say she's done that. She's living a wonderful life, and she deserves it. She's worked hard for it. She's been, more importantly than anything else, a great mother. You and your sister are turning out like two little princesses. But anyway, you went to Bozeman?
I did. I went to Montana State University.
And that's in Bozeman?
Yes.
Yeah, how was that out there compared to Big Rapids?
So people say now Bozeman is the smallest big city in America. It was fun to experience something a little bit bigger than Big Rapids, but ultimately I think it took being away from Big Rapids to realize how good it was to come back.
I remember when you were starting high school, Stacy came in the station with you. I think she was going to drop you off, and she goes, "Oh, I can't believe I'm taking my baby to the high school." She goes, "Oh my Lord, where's?" And I said, "Stacy, blink. You'll just blink and she'll be through high school." And after your graduation party there, she said to me, she goes, "You are so right." I blinked and she's gone through high school already. Now we blink again 3.5 years later, you're back here. But when you moved out there, I remember it was kind of homesick time, wasn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So tell people out there, a young girl just graduated from high school that possibly be going to Bozeman or Missoula, or let's just use any name outside of the state of Michigan. How much time did it take you to get where you were content?
I would say it took a little bit over a semester. I had to go through all the feelings of being homesick and challenge myself. To be honest, I thought I would come back and go to Ferris, but I'm very, very glad that I stuck it out and kind of found who I am outside of Big Rapids, and then decided to move back.
Yeah, you were a good student in high school, but you were shy, a little shy. But so did Mom and Dad having to do with you staying out there? I mean, because it was tough. I remember Stacy coming in saying, "Avery's having some challenges out there. She's really homesick." Of course, she went out there for a little bit, eh? Your mom?
Yeah, my parents did a great job of visiting all the time. And I have very, very loving parents, but I think it did take tough love to keep me out there.
Yeah, she wanted to make sure. But, talk about your parents a little bit. Why do you think they're so great? What did they do to you that don't do to everybody else? You're a pretty good person, and you come from, you might say well-to-do family. I mean, you didn't have to want, but you earned what you got. They didn't give it to you, did they?
No, I mean, we grew up instilled with really great values. I wouldn't credit just only my parents, but my grandparents as well. I mean, they kind of shaped who my parents are and all the generations before. But we had really strong values in my family, I felt, and ultimately my parents made the decision to send me to St. Mary's, which I think that really attributed to who I am today as well.
What did St. Mary's do to you? What is it? Small class size? Was the tough love there, the tough education that they make you go through, or the discipline they make you go through, or is it making you go to church on Tuesday morning Did that help you realize that there is a God and He has a plan for you? What is about St. Mary's that's so special?
Yeah, definitely. The regularness of church and smaller class sizes definitely helped. That was kind of a selling point of Montana State for me, was they had smaller class sizes compared to most colleges. The discipline at St. Mary's and the respect and morals that they teach. I mean, you can go talk to teachers at Big Rapids High School and they'll tell you they know who the St. Mary's and St. Peter's kids are.
Yeah. So education-wise, when you came out of St. Mary's, was high school tough, or was it easy, or you just gradually learned more, or what?
No, high school was not a challenge for me. I was in accelerated classes, and I mean, yes, every class got more and more challenging, but I do think St. Mary's set me up, to handle them with grace and with discipline and motivation.
How about going back a little bit to your experience out in Bozeman there? You once you found out that you were confident and you got more outgoing and you could speak to your fellow students, is that what happened, and you became friends with some people?
Yeah, two of my best friends that I've ever had in my life are still out in Bozeman.
Wow.
Yeah.
What did you take out there?
I started in mechanical engineering, and then I switched my major to business management.
Yeah. And then you met a young man out there?
I did. I met Sully out there.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about him. How did you meet him?
So my freshman year roommate owned a firearms store, and Sully ended up working there about a year after I had moved out there. And I noticed him in there and asked, who's the new cute guy working at the store? And I guess you could say the rest is history.
Yeah. You quite a hunter.
Yes.
So you've hunted elk? What else?
Elk, antelope, mule deer, whitetail deer, mouflon sheep in Hawaii. And then I've also hunted in South Africa with my family.
I was going to say, does Mom go with those hunts or just your dad?
In the beginning, it was mostly my dad, but my mom started to get more into it as the years went on. I think because it was something we could all do as a family.
How important is that to you, that you do something with your family?
It's very important.
Yeah. Your dad's a great dad, isn't he?
Yes.
He's humbled by the experience that he's had in life, and he deserves what he gets. He works hard, I know that. So is that kind of what you're going to follow?
Oh, absolutely. I couldn't imagine not following in those footsteps.
You love the business?
I do.
Yeah. Why? What intrigued you about going back and from the college life that you had out there? You could have went anywhere probably, but you decided to come back to Big Rapids. What is it about Big Rapids that attracts a young person like you to come back to, besides the business? I mean, the business is good, you'll make a decent living there, but you're gonna have to work hard. And I love your post on Facebook about Big Rapids products, about all the positives that you do for the employees and for the community. And you guys are very giving here in Big Rapids. We're very fortunate to have you. And I know you'll carry that tradition, but everybody wants to kind of improve. Do you see that in yourself, that you're going to say, hey, I can improve this company?
Yes, I would love to. I'm trying to do everything that I can. Learning wise, I don't want to just step in. I have really big shoes to fill.
I know you do, yeah.
But anything that I can do to make things better at Big Rapids Products or in Big Rapids, I'm all about.
Yeah, you learn from the ground up over there. I understand you go back in the shop and see how they're made and what's being made and this and that, eh?
Yeah, recently I've been doing a little, spending some time learning the tool and die side, but I think I might be switching over to another field pretty shortly here.
Oh, what's that?
Going into the quality.
Okay, quality of the product, eh?
Yep.
Wow, I guess that's what you should do, eh? You're being top dog over there. So what are you making over there right now? People wonder sometimes, what do they do there?
Yeah, so we just posted a picture of our new and updated parts wall. A big group of us spent a lot of time revamping that wall and making it a little bit more current, but we make a lot of decorative bright trim around the windows of cars. We make a lot of exhaust components, structural components. We are branching out into the solar industry and the heavy truck
You guys really have diversified a lot, because I remember back in the old days, you kind of made the cover for the bumper, and that was a big thing back when the Jerry Nielsen worked for your grandpa and dad there. Then all of a sudden, somebody got pretty creative. Who was that person that made you guys, like not made you guys, but who really helps you guys be creative on what part to make? Because, I mean, automobile industry, there's a lot of parts to that car, and you guys used to maybe have to do the chrome or the mirror, but you guys do from top to bottom pretty much now, don't you?
Yeah, we do. And honestly, that's some more learning I should go do, because I would love to find out that information as to who helped us get to be more creative. I want to say that it kind of, I would credit the industry to wanting to get more creative. You know, the auto industry is so up and down, and you have to adapt to what it needs in the time.
Who do you in the plant is doing that, though? I mean, somebody has to come to your dad and say, hey, John, we got to make this part here. We can do well here. Do you have a man that's in that controlling unit of the program you have there?
I think a lot of people in the company can go to my dad and express those needs, but our VP of sales, Aaron Thompson, and operations, Josh Seipel, engineering, Larry Firestein, you know, they all come from a background of different experience in the same industry, so they can bring pieces to, you know, bring new ideas.
Now, you have a plant in Kentucky.
We do. We have 2 buildings.
Now, your sister, as everybody that knows your family, is into horses.
Yes, very much so.
And I can see where she's going to run that shop down there someday, because that's in horse country. And she'll be, she might never go to the shop, but she'll have horses out there in the field, right?
I mean, that's a good point.
Yeah, that's God's country. You've been there, I'm sure, at the plant.
Yep.
It's beautiful country, isn't it?
Oh, it's gorgeous down there.
But can you see your sister saying to you, big sister, I'd like to live down here and be a janitor in the factory? Huh? Have my horses down there? Yeah, your mother would be right alongside of her.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Lord, yeah, you're great. Well, you know, it's pretty hard to make 18 people happy at the gas station. I don't know, what do you do to keep 600 people? I know you